Hello and welcome to the Florida Men Gaming. I am Furion and today we will be playing Magic the Gathering Arena. This season we are looking to work our way from Bronze to Mythic and have some fun along the way. But before we get started, I would like to ask you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and would love to have you along for the journey. Today we are going to be playing an Izzet Mill deck. This is the second Mill deck we've played on this channel. I started the channel with a Mill deck that performed about 50-50, and after watching some YouTube content from HGG HelloGoodGame, who has a fantastic YouTube channel and incredible upload consistency, I got some inspiration, borrowed his deck list, and made some modifications based on what I had available and what I thought would play better for my playstyle. So this is it nice? Still no. For this deck, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the Ruin Crab. We're not going to hide the ball with this. We're going to put it right out up front if we have the opportunity on turn 1 and start the mill process immediately. 4 copies of Fading Hope to slow down the enemy's approach as they come in attempting to potentially run us off the board when they realize what's going on. 4 copies of the Delver of Secrets to apply pressure through the air once we start revealing some of our instants and sorceries. 4 copies of Maddening Cacophony, which has a kicker cost of 3 and a blue. It's a 1 and a blue card, so for a total of 4 and 2 blue, you can have the opponent mill up to half their deck. Otherwise, for the 1 and a blue cost, they can mill 8 cards. 2 copies of Cathartic Pyre. This will serve as removal and as hand fixing in the event that we are really struggling to find our key cards. 4 copies of Dual Strike, which is a card I did not include in my original build. I like this card a lot because it is an easier dual cast spell to pair with our 4 copies of Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Dual Strike only works with spells that have a mana cost of 4 or less. So Tasha's Hideous Laughter does fit that qualification, and essentially for 4 total mana, 1 red, 1 colorless, and 2 blue, we can have them dump up to 20 mana value worth of cards into their exile zone 2 times. So that could be anywhere from 8 cards to upwards of 20 cards, depending on the mana value of what we're finding in their deck as this card rolls through. 2 copies of Expressive Iteration are also here to help us fix our hand and our mana as the early game progresses. We're hoping to hit them early, but it doesn't hurt if we find them a little later on. 3 copies of Galvanic Iteration, again, just an alternate option on dual casting when we get to that point in the game. 4 copies of Divide by Zero, so that we can, again, bounce opponent's cards. And in the sideboard, which we'll be using with that Divide by Zero pickup, we have 2 copies of Environmental Sciences, 2 copies of Teaching of the Archaics, 1 Start from Scratch to remove cards such as Key to the Archives or other annoying artifacts, 1 Illuminate History, again a hand fixer if we're really struggling, and 1 copy of Mascot Exhibition in case we just really need to put up a bunch of blockers or a beatdown. So, with that out of the way, we will see you in the first game. Alright, we have found an opponent. This is a good first hand. We'll be able to get the crab down on turn 1, start foretelling our dual strikes, and build right into our strategy. So we're going to go ahead and keep this. Opponent does go first, so we will get a chance to see what they're trying to accomplish. At the end of the day, if you're watching a play on this and you ask yourself, is this a nice thing to do? The answer is no. Part of the reason we're playing this deck is it is proven to be very effective in the Alchemy format at disrupting some of the more control-y deck schemes, including blue-white and Dimir. We're looking to really just shake things up and have a little bit of fun. It is a kind of awful person's strategy, but again, fun is the name of the game, and that's what we're looking to do here. And there we go. Scoop. Most players don't want to deal with it, so if we're looking to climb rank, this might be a way to just skip through these early stages and move right along. Turn 1 Ruin Crab is very disheartening, especially if you had a big game plan. So we're going to go ahead and see you in the next one. Alright, we are back with our next opponent. Same avatar, I believe that's a different name. This hand is not a terrible hand, but it's not quite what we're looking for. We're going to go ahead and mulligan, try and get a crab or a delver, and we got both. Opponent does go first, so we are going to go ahead and play out that crab on turn 1 and see if we can draw out a scoop. With this, we are going to put away We're going to put away the Delver of Secrets. It may not end up being all that effective for us. Can't really afford to give up any of the lands, especially given our strategy with the crab. It looks like they're going to be playing some dragons, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can scare them off the board. No dice. They could be looking to Dragon's Fire right out of the gate. No, they're electing to Orb of Dragonkind. Very good play for them. We're going to go ahead and hit them for 6 cards. There's one removal out of the way. We're also going to bring in some red mana just to fix our hand here a little bit. And we'll hold up that Fading Hope so that we can protect that Ruin Crab. A little 0 mana swing, let them know that we're here. We could end up seeing a Whelp, and if that's the case, we will be prepared to bounce it, as we don't want them to start building up those counters. The cost reduction from the Whelp does make Dragon decks very scary. There's the Dragon's Fire we were expecting, and the bounce. Another Fading Hope. We're going to go ahead and keep that on top for the moment. Crab coming back down. We're going to play the Forsaken Crossroads on blue, and we will untap. The untap will be to keep that blue mana available for the Fading Hope, and we will sit on this till next turn. Expressive Iteration is going to come in very handy on this next turn, as we will look to utilize that to put some key spells in our hand and potentially get our next mana if we don't draw it off the top deck. We may still end up playing the Expressive Iteration, though. I'm going to go ahead and bounce that, by the way. Just keep them off balance. Alright, let's see what we can find. There's the land we wanted. The Divide by Zero is going to go to hand. We're going to put the Galvanic Iteration back in the deck and put the land in the exile zone. This land is going to come down, mill an additional 3 cards, and with them off balance for the moment, we'll go ahead and foretell our Dual Strike. We will probably end up losing the crab this turn to a removal spell when they see us tapped out, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make given our current set of positioning and making sure we have the mana we need to double up into a Divide by Zero if the worst is to happen. Another mana hitting the board. We're going to go ahead and just continue to slow play our mill strategy and wait to see what they decide to do next. They are looking at the Orb of Dragonkind. They might be looking to sacrifice it. They have played out a red mana. They're showing the Immerstrom Predator. Chandra dressed to kill. We're going to go ahead and double divide here. We're going to screw up their mana just a little bit. Mana Form Hellkite off the board. They're going to get a pretty decent little Hellkite whelp from this, but we're going to screw up their mana just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and pull in Environmental Sciences, keep the train rolling there, and we will pull out a Mascot Exhibition as our mana seems to be rolling in pretty consistently. This 3/3 does have haste, so I expect it to come in very hard, and we'll see what happens.
You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Orb of Dragonkind back on the board. There's a Delver. We'll go ahead and put the Delver of Secrets down, give ourselves a preview of what's coming in the coming turns here. This will again give us another blue mana, and we are set on the next turn to mill half their deck out. They have been getting punished lightly by this. They're now down to 30 cards, and we've seen some pretty big dragons hit their graveyard, including another Maniform Hellkite at one point and Inferno the Star Mount. Red Dragon is a sneaky one, deals 4 damage on entry. 2 Moonveil regions have also gone down, along with another one of their red dragons. Looks like they're holding for the moment, waiting to see what to do. Maniform Hellkite coming down, we're going to go ahead and just make them rethink that. Continue to keep them off balance, make sure that they can't play any big bombs on us, because we don't have the defensive capability to stop them from doing anything meaningful here. We'll go ahead and grab another Environmental Sciences on the off chance that we decide that it's a better play to get some health, and we'll see what they elect to do now. They've got 2 available mana, so I suspect Dragon's Fire to the Ruin Crab. Based on the fact that they kept touching it, it makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and kick this Maddening Cacophony, mill out the next half of their deck, And then we're going to actually sneak in here and put some damage on the Chandra. Just keep her from getting to that ultimate, which is available at 7.
Ooh, payback's gonna be spicy.
They're now down to 13 cards, and we have enough board presence here to keep ourselves pretty defensively positioned going into the next stage of this game. There is a good chance, though, that unless we draw another significant mill spell, that we could be in danger, because dragons are nothing to mess with, and they are sneaking pings through. Velomachus Lorehold, that is a scary card. We'll see if they have any spells left to top deck. They don't. Anything useful has been sent to the bottom. And this card right here is one turn away. So we're going to go ahead and Environmental Sciences, pick up another red mana, and actually be able to play it now. We're going to dual strike our 3 damage Cathartic Pyre and take that Velomachus off the board. Keep this under control, and with that additional mana, next turn we will be able to play the Mascot Exhibition. That 2 damage pickup does help us out, and unless they have another Hasty Dragon, this game is probably going to be over. I do like the Insectile Aberration, which is the transformed version of the Delver of Secrets. The 3/2 flying is useful, especially in giving us a chump blocker against this very deck. Goldspan going to swing in for 4 and give him a big treasure. We'll see what happens after this with it. Alright, that is a great pickup. We're going to go ahead and play Mascot Exhibition, give us another aerial blocker, and swing in for 3. Just let them know we're still here. That could have been a mistake. We'll see if they have removal and decide to take out the blocker. I don't know that they have any additional Hasty Dragons in their hand, but with the Goldspan supercharging that treasure token there, they can put almost anything out in a pretty quick and scary fashion. Opponent taking their time deciding what to do next. They don't know what I'm sitting on in hand, which is to our advantage as we are a mill deck. They are probably running a little nervous about what could come up at any moment. That is going to put them on a very aggressive footing if they can manage it. But we will have to see what they've got to play. We know at least 2 dragons in their hand. Something I was going to mention earlier, they revealed the Immerstrom Predator to us early in the game when they put down a Temple of the Dragon Queen. They did not have to do that, as when they have a dragon on board, the temple will come in untapped. They just made a misplay in that particular moment and let us know kind of what's available to them in here. So they now have 8 damage available to come in on. Unless we draw that next mill card, then we could be in trouble. This will be enough. We're going to hold up the Insectile Aberration for blocking purposes, and we will Fading Hope them on the next attack stage. We don't have a choice in this matter. If they have another Hasted Dragon, we are in trouble. We'll go ahead and bounce the lifelink, block the Goldspan, and hope for the best. Alright. Unless they have 1 damage that they can sneak through. There it is, folks. They managed to pull it out. We were 10 cards from victory, and they definitely earned it.
Let's bring things up to a simmer.
Alright, we have found our next opponent. GT Powers. This hand would be a keep in just about every circumstance. The blue mana will come off the Evolving Wilds. Really would have rather have kept that, but don't want to risk mulliganing and losing the Ruin Crab. We're going to go ahead and keep against what looks to be a mono-red opponent. They lead with the black mana, so we're going to go ahead and put a stop on the end step for their turn so we can pop the Evolving Wilds and be prepared for the next step. Alright, looking at a Rakdos plan with the treasure. We'll go ahead and pop it now since we're putting up a priority hold. Blue mana to the board. Opponent taking their time. Something's holding priority, probably a Shambling Gas if I had to guess. Incoming Ruin Crab. And opponent mills 3, Evolving Wild, and an Olivia Crimson Bride to the bin. And Evolving Wild is the wrong card. I called that out. It was Field of Ruin. Let's see what they elect to play. So far, they just seem to be thinking things over. Question is, do they have removal in hand? Looks that they do. Bloodchief's Thirst. Bye-bye, Ruin Crab. It was nice knowing you. Incoming Adversary. We're going to go ahead and Expressive Iteration. Put that in our hand. Put this in our library, and that in the Exile Zone. Delver of Secrets to the board. We'll see if they have additional removal. Chances are they do. It looks like this would be a spell-heavy removal Rakdos build. Incoming. We're going to go ahead and let this one through as well. We have the Cathartic Pyre on deck if we're getting nervous. We can hold up mana and see where things land. Mana coming off the top. We're going to go ahead and hold the Expressive. Hold the Divide by Zero, hold the Tashas. Let's see what they're looking to do. They're looking to Deadly Dispute. We're going to go ahead and Cathartic Pyre their other card and just reset them for the next turn. That Hive of the Eye Tyrant will come into play soon. Another land. It's at times like this that you really miss the Ruin Crab. We're going to go ahead and Expressive Iteration again, see if we can draw some removal into our hand. Alright, we're going to take that Fading Hope. And we'll put the island in the Exile Zone. And with this, we'll hold up Divide by Zero, waiting to see if we can bounce back a card that they burn treasure on. Fully expect to see a big nasty dragon coming down. Hive of the Eye Tyrant coming off. We will go ahead and give that back. Thanks for coming to play. It's been nice. Another Fading Hope off the top. We will take that. Not quite the game plan we were going for, but it will allow us to transform the Delver and keep that Kalain from swinging in any further. Alright, with that, we're going to go ahead and hit him with the first Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Have them spill into the Exile Zone as much as we can take. And with the Divide by Zero on hand, we will be ready for the next spell that they try and play out. Electing to Deadly Dispute. We're going to go ahead and Divide by Zero that back to their hand. And burn their turn. A couple of big cards went out, only got 10, but a Reckless Stormseeker, Townraiser Tyrant, 2 Townraiser Tyrants, Terralf's Disciple. That was a big, big move. Hive of the Eye Tyrant back to the board, coming in tapped, 4 mana available. Looks like they're going to be using more removal. It was nice knowing you, Delver. This deck not really beat to be the beatdown. Gonna go ahead and Dual Strike. Foretell it. Drop the Environmental Sciences to recoup some of this health and get more of our mana corrected. Let's see what they choose to target. They're gonna go after the Stormcarved Coast. That is a devastating hit as it eliminates our ability to Divide by Zero. We'll let them have it. Not that we have much choice. And I lied. We get to reset the mana onto the field based on that, so we still have Divide by Zero open. We will go ahead and take that other island. Keep it in full view. Let's see what's coming down. Doesn't look like they've got anything to play, and we are just drawing all of our lands out at this moment. So we'll go ahead and hold it up. See if they elect to go Hive the Eye Tyrant on the next turn, which we will then bounce with the revealed Fading Hope. Still electing to hold up. Alright, Reckless Stormseeker hits the board. And do they swing? They do swing. Fading Hope coming off. Another Deadly Dispute. They are going to really hate me. With that, we pick up the Mascot Exhibition. Since we're not drawing into our game plan, we will be playing a game of Build the Beatdown. Let's see if they have a board wipe available. They are electing to Infernal Grasp, taking 2 damage for their trouble. Fading Hope still hiding in my hand. We'll see how they play this. Putting a Townraiser Tyrant down on the board. Don't have much left in the way of land. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the land that they marked. Divide by 0 is a good pickup. We will go ahead and Fading Hope the Townraiser. And once again, Divide by 0 the Deadly Dispute. They are really looking to fix their hand and put treasure down, but we are blocking that strategy wholeheartedly. Teaching of the Archaics coming in, we're going to go ahead and take a draw. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, double Maddening Cacophony. This game is about to get spicy. Give them a taste of what we just picked up. Put some more cards. Oh, there goes 3 Goldspan Dragons, the rest of their Reckless Stormseekers, and another Bloodthirsty Adversary and Terralf. That hurts. Opponent down to 12. We are now in the position of being the beatdown. They don't seem too happy about the choices we've made. Bloodthirsty Adversary coming down and tapping. They're going to be pulling a spell out of their graveyard, but what do they have? They're casting a Bloodchief's Thirst. They're going to go after our 3-2. It's a wise choice. Here comes Bloodthirsty. Oh, and this, ladies and gentlemen, will be the game with the Maddening Cacophony off the top deck, which we have been waiting for this puppy for a minute. We are about to double them up for 8 with another 8 on the way. They've got 18 cards available, so this will take 16 out for 3 mana, and for the additional 2 mana that we have available, this is game over. If anyone ever asks you, is this deck a kind way to play? The answer is, of course, no. We'll go ahead and hit them with the good game. They are not happy based on their emote just a moment ago. And they're going to finally get a chance to use a Deadly Dispute. I hope they enjoyed it. GG. Alright, we have found our next opponent. Or with a deck like this, we should probably say Victim. Opponent goes first, so we're going to go ahead and take that with the Forsaken Crossroads and the Ruin Crab in hand. We will be in a good position to set up our hand here. Opponent goes green off the start. We're going to go ahead, set it as blue, and we'll take the Scry. There's more mana. That is what we're looking for. With the Ruin Crab, we don't have to play it turn 1 and draw out immediate removal. Better to hold it in hand, play it out turn 2, and make them have it. Tenacious Pup to the board. Excellent play by them. We're going to go ahead and do another blue. Take the scry one more time, and I did a misplay already. Forgot to do that while having the Ruin Crab available. So, that is a series of 3 missed cards that we could have dumped right from the start. Old Growth Troll coming in with a bump. Thankfully it doesn't have haste. They are going to have to play that again. Oh, 2 more Old Growth Trolls to the bin, and their first one back to hand, so it now no longer has the counters or the vigilance. We're going to go ahead and take an Environmental Sciences and keep the lands a-rolling. Ulvenwald Oddity, that is going to sting a little. Big 4/4 haste coming down the pike. We're going to go ahead and dual strike the Cathartic Pyre, get that Ulvenwald off the field. And seeing as how I have misplayed that, I don't have the mana set correctly to do that, we're going to go ahead and take a red, take a blue, and get our 4 health back with the double Environmental Sciences. We will hold the Ruin Crab up and hope that they don't have a Blizzard Brawl handy, but this will probably end up turning out very poorly because of that misstep. Should have held the dual strike and hit him with the Hideous Laughter, but you live, you learn. Go ahead and hit them with the first Hideous Laughter, see what we can pull off the top of their deck. That is a big dump, 19 cards coming off. With that, we will pull out the Maddening Cacophony, drop another 8 into the graveyard. And that might set us up. With 16 cards left in hand, we could hit them on this next turn with a Hideous Laughter and finish the game. They're going to come in with 9 damage, so it is going to come down to this, folks. Seeka's Chariot to the board. Do we draw the dual cast? We do! Ladies and gentlemen, the Shuffler is our friend today. And with that, this game is effectively over. Didn't even need the second cast, got very fortunate with what was left, and that is game. All right, and we're back with the post-game wrap-up. So if we take a look, you will notice that I did make several changes over the course of gameplay today to the deck that I had initially showed off in the intro. Key changes being we removed 2 Delver of Secrets. I found that during gameplay I kept drawing it too frequently, and if it's not down on turn 1 or 2, it really does not help your overall game plan. Replaced it with 2 Cathartic Pyres, or I apologize, 1 Cathartic Pyre and 1 Expressive Iteration each, so that we could better balance out our hand and our approach. Overall, the deck performed pretty well. We'll go ahead and pull up the stats powered by untapped.gg. So, in version 2, where we removed the 2 Delver of Secrets and re-added a Cathartic Pyre and Iteration, we went 100% on our win rate, beating out a mono green and a Rakdos deck. The initial version, you're going to see only 1 of the 3 losses, but we ended up having 1 win, which was an immediate scoop at the site of the Ruin Crab for someone who didn't want to play against the mill strategy, and then 3 straight losses, 1 to dragons, 1 to werewolves, which just absolutely overpowered us, and 1 to mono green. So overall deck statistics, we're looking at a 50% win rate against mono green, 100% versus people who scoop when they don't want to play. And, you know, you can see it broken down here. On the play, we did not win a single game. On the draw, though, we were a 56% win rate. So, end of the day, it is a fun deck to play. I will have the deck list posted in the description below. If you want to play it, you're not going to make many friends this way, but fortunately, there is no chat set up in this game, so you won't get flamed or really very vile private messages through the direct game client. It is a way to climb the ladder. Again, not the nicest way, but it is a way. So have some fun with it, and we will look forward to seeing you in the next one. So this is Furion from the Florida Men Gaming, signing off.